Always so much stuff to do. I need a checklist. I need a checklist of what I need to
You
do.
were doing like I do sometimes.
Yeah. Oops. I was I was talking and
Not
actually not
recording.
actually recording. Uh, but anyway, but welcome to the program. Welcome to Real Talk with Deb and Will. Uh, this morning, this is part two of I think one of the most important things that we've done since we've been doing this. We've been doing this for a little more than a year. Uh, it was MLK Day
Last year.
last year. We started. I think this is an important program. We last week we asked. I got to answer five very important questions, and I think that as time goes on, I think that this kind of relational introspection can may be able to actually to save your marriage. Good morning, Sharon. How are you? Thanks for hopping on the Facebook Live. We appreciate it. So now, this week is part two of that, where I get to ask Deb the very same questions she asked me. And yes, I know we promised to put the questions in the description box,
We will do that today.
and we didn't do that. So we'll do that today for sure. And really encourage you to look at the questions and maybe spend some time doing this yourself. All right, well, let's just get started because, time is a wasting. I'm not even sure what the heck that means, but what they used to say on all the westerns.
Time is a waste.
Yeah, Gunsmoke. Time's a wasting, Marshall.
I missed that show.
Gunsmoke, yeah.
I like that show.
James Arness, Gunsmoke. A lot of shooting. All right, the first question is there anything you need from me as your spouse that I am not giving?
Um,
Now, before Deb answers, last week I didn't get any prep time.
and
I just want to make sure. Just want to make sure everybody is fully aware of the situation. Last week I didn't get any prep time at all.
I did too tell you the night before and showed you and asked you if you were okay with it and all of that. You had an opportunity.
You got a week. Actually, a little bit more than that, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm just letting everyone know the dynamic. That way, you don't think that we all set this up and we all just went foo-foo. Because if you look at the part one, we're not both dressed in burnt orange like we go to the University of Tennessee. Go Vols. So again, is there anything you need from me as your spouse that I'm not giving?
Yeah, I must say you are very supportive in most of my adventures. Everything that I decide I'm going to do this, he's okay and he's on board with it. But I would like you to encourage me more in eating healthy. Um, obviously it's a struggle for our family, and we're working on that constantly. But it's a life change, and we have been married 31
31
years.
years. And now I know most of y'all don't think so because y'all look at us and go, y'all are the cutest people ever, and that is still true.
It is
I
true.
don't want anybody don't get
And
it twisted.
we look
And
35.
we look good, but
Uh-huh.
I don't look 35. I will not go that far, but I know you look good.
Especially with my
You new hair?
But back to the question. But I just wish I had more of an in-house encouragement. Like when I don't want to get up and go walking in the mornings. I need somebody here that can tell me, come on, mom, come on, dad, we're going to go do it anyway. Because I'm always the one begging people, come walk with me, come walk with me, come walk with me. Nobody wants to do it. I don't want to do it, but I know I feel better. I know my mental health is better. I know everything about me. I can give you so much more if we exercise and took better care of our bodies.
That's true. That's true. and we'll start working on that. Now, before we go on, we have more questions. Because if you watch the video from last week, or the last video that we did this in, I can tell you that the responses that I made, that my wife immediately took them to heart and started working on them. And this week, and I noticed, and I appreciate it immediately. Just like that. All right, the second question: is there anything that I do that hurts you?
Not physically hurt me.
No.
He's never
No.
No. But I know what you mean emotionally.
No, this is what you wrote. This is not my handwriting. This is Debbie's.
Yes, it is.
I can't read. Yeah, there you go. You can see that on the YouTube. This is not my handwriting. My handwriting looks like I write with my foot. Left foot. So, is there anything that I do that hurts you? And the answer could be no.
Yeah, that's true. And usually no. But what hurt me in the last 5 years was when you were almost died.
Well, and for those of you who somehow can't imagine that if you've watched us for any length of time, you've watched more than one video, that you've subscribed to our channel, that you've seen us on Facebook, and you guys know us on Facebook, you know what I'm talking about. In 2014, I had I experienced a cardiac arrest due to congestive heart failure. And congestive heart failure is one of those things that you always have. It's like, it's like you always have hay fever. You have periods of times where you don't have hay fever, but in the spring in Tallahassee, hay fever shows up. So you always have congestive heart failure. They did triple bypass, 5 years, 2014, and it was traumatic. And the incident when my heart stopped, and it was traumatic for my family, where I coded and the whole paddle and stuff, and when they're in the room, it's got to be horrific. Now it wasn't. Now I'm not telling you, it wasn't much fun. It wasn't much fun for me either.
No.
But it's horrifically traumatic to your family. They think they're seeing you die.
And you really did.
And when your heart stops, you're kind of dying. So, or you're on your way to dying for sure. So yeah, I can see that. And
so it goes around back to the same old thing about the health and all of that. It hurts me when you don't seem to regard your health seriously.
Yeah. And I understand. And I think I'm getting a little better. And the idea,
yes, you are.
And and I'll tell you from
you're better than you were 5 years ago.
That's probably true. So the idea a lot of times is that you're just as a person who's been through that, you're so happy, frankly, just to still be alive. And after basically a year, maybe a year and a half of recovery, which all that really takes, you're like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna live. And the problem is, and this happens not, and I don't think it happened as much with me as a lot of people who go through the same thing, and this is our PSA for the day, is when you go through that, because you're taking your medicine now, you think that you're fine. And you think that you can, because you're taking your medicine, you can eat what you want and do what you want. And the reality is that you can't.
Because your doctor said that to us, that it can come back.
And a lot of times it does. A lot of times the same sort of, especially because of habit and family history and stuff. If you are somebody who is prone to have that sort of blockage,
it can come back.
It can come back. So
that's why it's important to take care of it after they clean it out. One
of the things that he said is, don't ruin my your new veins in your heart because you're out of spares. I had a great surgeon because you're out of spares. Yeah, so you have to be careful, and I know that was a traumatic thing for my family to deal with, and we're still, you know what, it's been 5 years, but when it's that traumatic, you're still working through stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You're still working through stuff. Is there something I used to do? Now, we have a lot of used to do time. Used to do that you wish I still did. I'm not playing basketball on Sunday anymore.
Sunday afternoon basketball.
None of my friends are playing, but none of my friends I used to play with, none of them are doing it either. They're like, basketball outside in the heat. Can we just go watch a game or something? Anyway, is there something that I used to do that I don't do anymore that you wish I still did?
Yes.
Oh.
We used to just on set and this was, we always say BA before Alex. We used to just pick up and go to the beach.
You did.
I love that. We would just pick up and go and on a Friday night and stay the whole weekend at the beach and just have fun. We would,
That kid, we play in the water.
Yeah, we would play and run, and I still look at all those pictures of us when we were back then, and it just carefree.
Me too.
I really miss our beach time, and we haven't done any. Well, we did last year. We went and spent the beach in Daytona.
We went to Daytona for during Easter.
Mm-hmm. So I really would like to go back to having spontaneous beach weekends.
I think we can now because now even
we have more money now than we did.
We have a little bit more money now. Not that we're rolling in the dough because we're not getting monetized yet by YouTube. So stop that because I know how you YouTubers are. They making money off it.
No.
No, we're not. We're not making a nickel
We're
off
not
y'all.
making any money yet.
Off y'all, no. But okay. I like that. I remember we used to get. This is again BA. We have a couple of milestone points in our relationship. BA before our son was born. Of course, AA after our son was born. BS before my surgery. AS after my surgery. A few milestones, and the only person we would, and this is before cell phones. Anybody had no cell phones? Mm-hmm. The only person that we would tell was your mom.
Mm-hmm. So we were.
So she'd know where you were. She didn't care where I was. she would know where you were. And then before my football season, marching band crap would start. Off to Treasure Island. Went to Treasure Island a lot. Mm-hmm. There was a Hojo's there.
Mm-hmm. That we would stay.
We would stay at the Hojo's there on Treasure Island, or Reddington Shores over there. Hey, Jess, and we would spend a weekend there, just frolicking around. We drive the Tercel, mm-hmm. The first new car we ever had. We bought together. Drive the purple Tercel over there. It wasn't maroon. It was purple, and just hang out. Yeah, you're right. We should do that some more. We should do that soon. And then we'll let you know. Well, maybe. Depends on how it goes, you know what I'm saying? You want to tell all your business. Do you feel like there is an area of our marriage where God is missing?
Well, I really feel just like you did. I think we need to incorporate it more in our finances, and come to an agreement on different things as to how we're giving, instead of like in the church when we have a guest speaker or something's going on and I've been over and say, you want to do this, you want to do that. I think we should be more prepared and know what we're going to do in giving, beyond our tithes.
Hey, Don. What's up, buddy?
Good morning, Don. Good morning, Jess and James.
Hey, Don. You ready to buy me some breakfast over there in review? Because I'm ready. Because I am ready to eat it. Meet you at the Village Inn over there. I am. If you're buying, I'm eating for sure. Yeah, you're right. I think that we should probably be more ready and be on the spot when somebody comes, or what we're normally going to do. I think that. And I think there's a number of benefits. The obvious benefit is the giving and the staying close in the covenant that God's made made with us, and just the convenience of always knowing what you're going to do just makes just kind of makes it easier.
Makes it easier.
That way you don't have to make spot decisions. This is what we're going to do. Why? Because this is what we plan to do.
And I would like you to take more of a leadership role in that.
Okay. See? Now, we only have one more question, and a lot of people will avoid these kind of conversations because they can be hard.
It is tough to find out that you already know most of the time. You already know your weak spots and what what triggers you, what makes you happy, what doesn't make you happy and stuff. You already know that in the relationship, but a lot of times it's very difficult to talk about them face to face. So
we decided to ask the entire planet to come.
All
y'all, come sit down. We got something to talk about. Y'all just sit down.
But these questions helps. They truly do help to bring it to your focus as to what's going on in your relationship, and will help you to I posted the other day about this is mental health week month, and
so I should get some mental health.
Keeping secrets to yourself, and we all have things that we keep to ourselves, doesn't help you heal, and it doesn't help your marriage to go to the next level if you don't talk about these things and clear up how you're truly feeling. People go for years and years, and because you sometimes you wonder why people are married for 40 years and then all of a sudden they got a divorce. What? You with somebody for 40 years, you did put that much into it, and then you decide you're going to go your separate ways? It's because they keeping secrets. Things are not open enough. You're not talking about these issues that involve you, and after 40 years of penny pinching your finances and stuff, you're like, whoa, I've had it.
Well, that and I think that they put in those divisions. You put in those divisions in your marriage in all these areas. You have these wedges, and then you sort of pull. People say they grow apart, but I think those wedges eventually push people apart.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll tell you the hard part about what you're seeing here, and it's real. We haven't rehearsed any of this.
No,
I promise. We haven't rehearsed any of this.
We never rehearse.
No. I'm a jazz musician. You don't practice, you just play. You read music? Good, play. But is that what you can't do? And this is going to be really, really, really hard. What you can't do is take what your spouse is saying to you so personally that you become defensive about it. Because when you become defensive, that's why people don't want to do it, because someone will become defensive, and then you'll get into, hey Tammy, and then you'll get into no argument. And no one wants, right, no one wants to argue. This is not the stuff that I think you want to fight about.
No.
This is the stuff that you want to fix about. You want to go about fixing.
If you want to stay married.
If you want to stay married, then you want to go about trying to fix some of this.
Now, if you don't want to stay married,
then y'all fight it out, and then give a whole bunch of money to some lawyer, and then guys, you can give her your house and your car and stuff, and you could live in a 1-bedroom apartment.
And half of your 401k.
Yeah, half.
And your pension.
Eddie, I want half. Yes, and then you can go back and live.
Savings.
You can go back and live with your mama if that's what you think you want. But no, this is the stuff that you can work on, and the blessing of it is that now that what you'll find out is a lot of times is that you're a lot closer to being okay than you thought.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you're doing better than you think you are.
Because these questions seem like, oh my God, I feel like I feel so condemned. I feel like I'm such a loser. But maybe not. Maybe you're a lot closer to being better than you thought you were. So and if it'll make it better, like, and if you'll find there's points of agreements. Yes. Do I want to, like, when Deb comes on a Friday and go, I want to go, I packed your bag. Here it is. It's one little bag. This big. We're going to the beach. Let's go, and let's go. Yeah, I want to do that. Yeah, I'm down with doing. I'm most certainly down with doing that. See, so one of these is easy. I can do that. So I can satisfy one of the things that she wishes that we would do again, that I like to do. And yes, I think that we should take a deeper. I should take a deeper dive into our giving at church. Yes, I should. Yes. I mean, I'd be foolish just to be arguing that just to argue. That's foolish. So this is some of the work that you got to be willing to do. That's all. That's all. Some of the work that you got to be willing to do. And some of it's hard. And some of it's not as hard as you think it's going to be. All right. Here's a fun question. Here's the wild card question that is always frightening. Kind of, sort of. What would you change about our sex life? And the man asked that question, and his colon is shut tight, and he has a very stern look on his face because he doesn't have any idea what he's going to hear in this ear. But he's holding on for dear life because his ego and his manhood is attached to the answer.
It's basic, more of it, and in different places.
Like at the beach, like at the Hojo and Treasure Island, which unfortunately I don't think is there anymore.
No, it's not. I don't even know if they still have Howard Johnson's at all.
Not in Florida, I don't think. Or whatever is there now.
And then the funny thing is, I remembered this. We used to always stay at Howard Johnson's. And the guy that delivered Alex, my doctor, his name was...
It was Howard Johnson.
I thought that was hilarious.
Like Tennessee Ernie Ford. I know no one remembers Tennessee Ernie Ford, but Tennessee Ernie Ford was a country singer. And he would say he got his name because he was born in Tennessee in a cab that was a Ford by a guy named Ernie. Tennessee Ernie Ford. So that's the name that he used. That wasn't his real name, but that's the name that he used to perform. Yep. So we got, the baby was delivered by Hojo.
Yes.
Howard Johnson. They used to call him Hojo. But
all the time when I went for my visits, my monthly checkups when I was pregnant, we would call him Hojo. And his name was Howard Johnson.
It's pretty funny.
And we always stayed at Howard Johnson's when we went to the beach.
Yep, we did. We did. Yeah, we could stay at Howard Johnson now again. However, we won't be making any announcements like that here on the channel.
No, we won't be getting pregnant.
Don't be any announcements like that.
That's the glory and the good thing about it. Now we can go there and then, it's just...
You don't have to worry about that anymore.
No.
And if you're a baby making age, go ahead and do that. It's a good thing. Make good people.
We're just at the age where we just have the fun.
We'll just watch y'all come by and play with y'all babies, and they go, "I think your baby is stinky." Here you go. Here's some coupons.
We love babies.
Here's some coupons for some diapers. Bye. We gotta go. But these kinds of questions, I think, are important, and I want to encourage everybody who's watching to go ahead and Deb is, before I let her leave to go to work, she's going to type these because she can type faster than I do. I'm going to type these questions into the description box here on Facebook, and then I'll copy them onto the YouTube thing. And so you guys can try it. Try it. Sit down. First of all, you might want to just sit down with your spouse.
Don't film it.
Yeah.
Unless it's for your personal
Record it and put it on YouTube and let everybody see your business. and you might want to give each other a week or so
to think about
to
it.
come back and talk about it. If you think that's going to work better for you, that's fine. But don't be afraid to do the deep dive into your relationship, because you have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
You have to do a checkup on your relationship every now and then.
That sort of, again, relational introspection is important to make sure that you have a healthy relationship, to make sure that the channels of communication are open. Because everybody talks about, so what do you need in a relationship? You need communication. So how do you get communication? Oh, I don't know. Communicate. Talk. Yeah, ask the hard questions. And be ready to answer the hard questions. So I think that's really important.
That's the true thing. Be ready to feel the burn.
Because it can sting. Because it can sting a little bit. Because everybody thinks that they're doing everything they can. Everybody believes that they're, and yes, you probably are. You probably are. You probably have opened a vein, and you are giving everything that you can at the time. Yes, and you may feel that your spouse is just whining about small stuff. You might feel that way, but if that thing
is bothering them that much to bring it up,
then you should probably address it.
Don't take your spouse for granted.
I think that's what happens in the 40-year marriages that end in divorce.
You take them for granted.
Everybody, hey, Jenna, I think that everybody, you think that person's always going to be there. And, well, they know. They know me.
He knows me. We've been together 35 years.
And there's something that isn't crushing him every day. He isn't like in a fetal position every day, but a little bit.
Year after year after year.
A little bit. And it just becomes, and sometimes people get to the point where now everything first of all gets blown out of proportion after a while. It's like anything else that could have been handled earlier, easier. And now it's this major infection in your relationship. So go ahead and do the work.
It's worth it.
And if you're newly married, I'm telling you, I think practicing that earlier and having that be a part of how you normally roll is probably the best thing.
It saves you from a lot of arguments.
And it keeps the lines of communication open, I think. And that's how you normally roll. So how long? Yeah, go. We're about there. So anyway, try it. Again, Deb's going to put the questions in the description box, and you can do this. Now, this is basically marriage stuff. But if you were in a relationship where you're not married, you can probably start here, because if your boyfriend or girlfriend can't hold up to these questions before you get married. Afterwards, it's gonna be problematic, and you may be able to take these questions and alter them for different sorts of relationships as well. Well, except the sex one. Probably shouldn't ask your business partner. So Bill, what would you tell you about our sex life? The answer would be nothing, Bob. Nothing at all. Our sex life is fine. Non-existent. And then some of the answers may truly be nothing. They might be. So don't open the scab and start
picking at something that's not even there. And women, we have a tendency to do that.
I ain't said nothing.
We do that. I'm being honest.
Someone's at the door.
I'm being honest. We have a tendency to make stuff in our head that's not even there. So don't make stuff up that's not there to cause an issue. But the answer to some of these may just be nothing.
No. So there you go. All right. Well, thanks. It's been fun. And
remember, this is Mental Health Awareness Month. Deal with mental health issues up front. as an African American family, we tend to cover up and say stuff and don't talk about things, um, because you don't want to be considered. You take that to Jesus. You don't talk about that. Well, yes, you take it to Jesus, but if you need to get counseling, if you need help, if you need medication, if you need something, you you need to face it.
Yeah.
Mental health is a sickness, and there's nothing to be ashamed about.
Yeah, the stigma of mental health in the African American community it has been debilitating actually, because those are things that quote we, us, us don't talk about. I hate when people do that.
You know.
Like what? People with hands, people with dry skin.
Us.
Us, me and you. But anyway, so we need to talk about, we need to be open about that kind of stuff because
It is an issue.
it's an issue.
Depression,
Sure.
anxiety, overeating and because you're depressed, and all the things like that need to be dealt with. I mean, we as Black women tend to be able to carry ourselves and look good even though we're overweight and stuff like that. But there's an issue there. If you're binge eating, there's something mental going on
Well,
there.
just be open to ask the question.
Yes.
Be open to ask the question. I think a lot of times people don't want to even ask the question.
What's going on?
What's going on? And seek, and go ahead if there's a question, seek help, and it's okay. It doesn't mean that you're weak.
No.
Doesn't mean that you're somehow deficient, that you can't handle it yourself. But
It just means you're human.
yeah, human, and humans come with all their whole sense of flaws and stuff. So don't dog yourself out about it. If you start feeling a certain way and you don't really know why, talk to somebody. Now you might start that initial conversation might be with a pastor or a rabbi or your priest or whomever. That may be where you start, but talk to somebody. I'm not saying you have to run off to the doctor and start, getting Xanax. But I think a lot of times, just like the relationship thing, I think a lot of times because things aren't addressed early, they
escalate
and escalate.
They escalate.
In the full, sadness turns into full blown depression because you can't feel better. And it's okay to talk to somebody. Yep. Welcome to Mental Health Month.
If it's even your spouse or your significant other, talk to somebody about it so that they are aware what's going on with you. Because you have so many people who you hear about the celebrities who commit suicide, but your next door neighbor may have a family member that committed. Your coworkers may have that. It's serious.
Yeah, you want to do that. So, all right, and we're going to, now that we leave you on that happy note, want you again to like, to subscribe, and to share, and please comment in the comment section if these videos that we've been doing over the past year, almost year and a half, have been valuable to you. Things that you'd like us to talk about, things that you'd like us to explore deeper. If you have questions, now we ain't gonna answer all your questions about our personal life because we don't roll like that. But if you've got specific questions that we can answer, we'd be happy to. So it is time to go.
Yes.
So
we went overtime.
We did a little bit. So until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you.
Love you.
Peace. We're out. And the button. And the other button.